Congressman Rohrabacher, I want to compliment you on your intelligence, your independence, and your courage.
Oh,
I don't agree with everything you say, particularly in the war, but your stance on medical marijuana was truly spectacular, and I want to really thank you for that.
What is your stance on that?
Well, it was my amendment the gentleman was referring to. It was my amendment which we finally succeeded in passing in the on the appropriations for justice appropriations bill that just basically stated that if a state legalizes the medical use of marijuana, the federal government will not step in and supersede state law. Our founding fathers meant that criminal law should be local and state and not the federal government, and this should be left up to the states. And one thing, let me just note, we had a gentleman talking about earlier about the care for our veterans. Medical marijuana, I believe, has some properties. By making it illegal, we're not even able to, by the way, research to find out what these properties are that could really be helping people. And I believe medical marijuana has some things that could be very, very useful in helping our veterans. And I know in one case, a person I know very well, his sons signed up right after 9/11, and when they came back, one of them had been in an explosion under his vehicle, and he was having seizures every day. And this fellow told me, he said, look, we couldn't do anything. And every day, seizure after seizure, they took him to the VA, and they weren't doing anything for him. And finally, a VA doctor pulled him off to the side and said, meet me in my office off campus. And he said, you need medical marijuana for your son. This guy gave him a prescription. They used medical marijuana. And now this brave veteran who was going through seizure after seizure, whose life was ruined, now he doesn't have seizures anymore. This guy told me, my son hasn't had a seizure since we started doing that. Now, why are we ever, and last year, by the way, we tried to make it legal for our Veterans Administration people to if a doctor thinks it's going to work, to utilize that. And at least now we've, and what
happened with that measure?
That they voted it down. My friends and guys I love here voted that down to not let the VA use medical marijuana to try to help these guys who we sent overseas. And but we did get passed. I got 50 Republicans to help me and pass that law that says if a state says it's okay, state approves it's legal for medical marijuana, that the federal government won't intervene. So maybe we're going to get some support, more support from Republicans on the states' rights.
And it sounds like an issue you're going to reintroduce in this Congress?
Oh, yes. And there's also, we're going to reintroduce letting the Veterans Administration use it if that's what the doctors want. If we really believe in states' rights, if we really believe in a doctor-patient relationship, if we really believe in individual responsibility, rather than having the government control our personal lives, which Republicans are always talking about, we need to make sure that medical marijuana is not taken away from people who might be able to use it to help overcome their suffering.